here to talk to you this morning about our plan to gamify museum content. The app that we propose and the platform that I'm going to walk you through this morning will be a vehicle for teachers to flip the museum for their students, and it will help museums deepen and extend their audience engagement. And our feeling is that this platform can be extended to other content providers as well. So what do people think about when they hear the word museum? We weren't sure, right? So we asked Google, and this is what Google tells us. Unfortunately, and perhaps a bit paradoxically, museum content is both boring and important. It's free, but yet some people think it's a waste of money, which really figured that one out, right? So we don't think that this should be the case. We feel that museum content is an investment on the part of donors, and is a resource for the community, and especially for students who are engaging with this content in perhaps boring old textbooks, right? We want them to live this content. So we want to make it more fun. We want to wake this kid up and get him in the museum and get him involved. How do we do that? We think flipping the museum is a good idea. So let me tell you more about what that means. All right, so imagine you walk into a museum, and instead of sleeping on the chair like that child in the picture I just showed you, you have your phone with you, it should be a smartphone, and you pull up an app. And this app will deliver you, as you walk through each exhibit and see different paintings on the wall, or different sculptures, or different infographics, it will deliver you related content that's geo-specific. So as you move through the content, it will move with you. It will also give you games, which will allow you to engage in the content in a new way, and hopefully a much more interesting way. You won't be tempted to sleep, right? And imagine if you're a teacher in this environment. You can use this tool to deliver scavenger hunts for your students, to deliver geo-specific spot checks, to make sure that your students are actually looking at the stuff they're supposed to be doing and not playing tag. This is a great resource that most educators would love to have at their fingertips. All right, so who benefits? In our view, all key stakeholders in the education process, as well as the museum process and other content providers, stand to benefit from this technology. How do we think about this? Students have a resource to make them engaged. They're not going to be sleeping. Educators have a tool at their disposal that will reinforce curricular objectives. Curators have a platform to share their specialized knowledge that otherwise is trapped inside their heads. And museum administrators, donors, and partners get metadata, right? So they have user data that they can use to track ROI, essentially, on purchased content. They can see what people care about, what they spend the most time looking at, and what perhaps they would like to see more of. One of our longer-term goals for this project is to embed a platform to get feedback from users as they engage with specific exhibits. So if you don't like a painting, you can tell the museum. And if in fact you love it and want to see more, you can give them that feedback as well. All right, so here's a prototype, or sort of a mock-up, if you will, about what this app might look like. You'll notice a couple things. It may look familiar to those of you who have ever played a game on your smartphone. There's a score, there's your picture. You're at the museum, but you could be at a different museum, right? Our key partners are the museum and the Berry School for the purpose of this project, right? But we can easily apply this to other venues. In that sense, it's a very scalable open source platform. You'll be asked quizzes, you can play games, and you can share the results with your friends. So there's a competitive aspect, which works really well, especially for younger children, and certainly middle school and high school students as well. All right, so where's the content going to come from? Who's going to be responsible for creating this content? We're thinking about this as a two-stage process. On the back end, curators and educators will work with game designers, me and my team here, to basically tell us what they want to see in the app, right? And make sure that it aligns with educational objectives, because that's really a key goal we have. We want to reinforce pedagogical outcomes as well. On the front side, of course, students will have this app at their disposal as they visit the museum. They'll be able to play games before they visit the museum, while they're there, and after. So you really are extending the engagement life cycle. And they'll be able to share the results on social media, and of course, if you're playing games with rankings, you have the chance to be global, to achieve global domination. All right, so here's the life cycle. Like I said, you can see content before, during, and after. Not only are we flipping the museum, but we are extending the engagement cycle. All right, FIA priorities that we addressed, I believe they're numerous and they're up here for you, but specifically I'd like to hit on credibility, info equity, and collaboration. We're a cross-disciplinary team, and we're making a tool that will let curators and educators collaborate for students and other museum visitors. Finally, long-term goals for this project. The key innovations that we want to emphasize for you all here today are content curation channels and the application of location-specific technology for educational purposes. Finally, this is my team. As you can see, we come from a range of disciplines, including political science, engineering, IT, and business school as well. We have faculty that are involved in education that are here with us this morning. We're grateful for their support, and we hope to have yours as well.